Honorable Agriculture Minister Bangladesh, Your Excellency Dr. Mohammad Abdul Razak, the Honorable Commerce Minister of Bangladesh, His Excellency Mr. Tipu Munshi, the Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, Mr. Vikram Doraiswamy, Mr. Sheikh Fazle Rahim Fahim, the President of FBCCI, Mr. TV Narendran, President Designate CII and CEO and Managing Director of Tata Steel, Dr. Pawan Goenka, Chairman of the CII National Mission on Atmanirbhar Bharat and Managing Director and CEO, Mahindra and Mahindra Limited, Mr. Sujit Ranjan Das, Director FBCCI, Mr. Chandrajit Banerjee, Director General CII, all the other dignitaries joining this very important interaction on the agricultural sector between Bangladesh and India. A very good afternoon to all of you and my greetings on this engagement, which I hope will have far-reaching dimensions and outcomes in the days and years to come. India and Bangladesh both share a very warm and cordial relationship based on mutual trust and a friendship that goes beyond the arithmetic of economic gains and losses. The relationship between our two countries is anchored in history, culture, language, and shared values of secularism, democracy, and countless other commonalities between the two countries. The several high-level engagements between our leaders and the governments of the two countries and the people-to-people contact have charted the pathway for strengthening this multifaceted bilateral partnership. The Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi and the Honorable Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina have signed 7 agreements this month in the areas of hydrocarbon, culture, agriculture, high-impact community development projects, and conservation of wildlife. In fact, opening the 5th rail link between Bangladesh and India, connecting Assam through West Bengal, is a landmark event which I hope will expand our connectivity and our trade relations between the two countries. In the same meeting, Bangladesh and India also decided to have an Indo-Bangladesh CEO forum, which I hope will go a long way in further developing our business-to-business contacts. I am delighted that the Honorable Prime Minister has accepted Sheikh Hasina's invitation to visit Bangladesh in March 2021. Bangladesh today is India's biggest trading partner in South Asia. We have a great deal of collaboration in areas particularly relating to agriculture, which we are discussing today, textiles, information and communication technology, energy, and transport. To my mind, this partnership stands out as a role model in the entire region for good neighborly relations, and very few neighbors in the world share such close fraternal ties. These ties have witnessed a significant upswing in the last 6 years. We have scaled up trade and economic engagement besides implementing a number of connectivity and infrastructure projects. In fact, in the last few years, the largest beneficiary of lines of credit from India, nearly $8 billion, have gone to Bangladesh in the last 8 years for the development of infrastructure such as roads, railways, shipping, and ports. I am delighted that CII and FBCCI are playing this catalytic role towards creating strong value chains and providing a platform for the private sector of both countries to further deepen their engagement. I understand that CII and FBCCI recently organized similar program with a focus on integrating the businesses of both countries in the textile and apparel sector also. I do believe that agriculture can have game changing potential between our two countries. The Honorable Minister from Bangladesh very rightly pointed out the large scope for further engagement in agriculture. And I am grateful to Dr. Pawan Goenka for sharing the three main pillars on which we can expand our engagement on agriculture: farm mechanization, food processing, and fisheries and aquaculture. I have no doubt that businesses on both sides will look at engaging in these three areas. We have very good tractor manufacturing in India. I was just hearing that the largest number of tractors used in Bangladesh come from India, possibly a large number from Mahindra and Mahindra. I believe on food processing, we can work with each other, learn from each other, and expand our presence in the global market in partnership with each other. And very rightly, it was said in this conversation earlier that both countries need to mechanize, need to improve our productivity so that we can move from the 4.5 tons per hectare level to levels in other neighboring countries of 7 tons per hectare, or the global benchmark of 10 tons per hectare on paddy, which is the mainstay of agriculture on both sides. I think with over 50% of the population in both our countries involved in the agriculture sector in one way or the other, it has huge socio-economic dimensions. Being the prominent sector of the economy, bilateral cooperation in this sector can pave the way to overcome the current economic challenges both our countries are facing. This cooperation has become all the more important in the context of the ongoing pandemic. The shared culture and heritage of the people of India and Bangladesh, our common tastes, the palate that we both share, coupled with the rapport between the country's highest leadership, will certainly be beneficial as both economies go into the recovery phase in the post pandemic world. We are delighted that Bangladesh has now become self sufficient in food, and the goal is to modernize agriculture. And this is an area where we both should work through greater synergies, greater collaboration. In fact, I was given to understand that India's wide ranging sensitive list was one of the key constraints inhibiting expansion of Bangladesh's agricultural exports to India. This obstacle, however, has now been removed through India's offer of duty free access to all exportable items from Bangladesh. In view of the recent developments, the non tariff barriers will play a crucial role in determining how Bangladesh utilizes the abundant opportunities that India has to offer, particularly in the agriculture segment. And I assure you, from India's side, complete cooperation in ensuring barrier free trade between the two countries. We have offered duty free market access to Bangladesh in all many products, including agri exports, and we encourage Bangladesh to put a renewed emphasis on enhancing her supply of agricultural items to the Indian market. I have noted the various points the Honorable Commerce Minister made regarding restrictions on export of certain products, more notably onion, and we are looking at a long-term framework in which to address this problem through creation of adequate buffer stocks and increasing the area of cultivation, particularly of products like onion and potato, to ensure continuous supplies to our very dear friends in Bangladesh. The governments of both our respective countries have also set very high benchmarks on how Bangladesh and India together can capture a larger share of the global market in textiles. We both have textile and apparel exports, together aggregating nearly $67 billion. And we should both aspire to expand that fivefold in the coming years so that we can provide jobs to our people, we can increase our earnings from international trade, and support the economic development of the economies of both countries. Currently, there are more than 60 bilateral institutional mechanisms between India and Bangladesh in the areas of security, trade and commerce, power and energy, transport and connectivity, science and technology, defense, rivers, and maritime affairs. The Indira Gandhi Cultural Center in Dhaka plays an important role in celebration of common cultural links between the two countries. Its training programs, including yoga, Kathak, Manipuri dance, Hindi language, Hindustani classical music, and the cultural programs of renowned artists of India and Bangladesh contribute in promotion of people to people contacts. At the Indian forefront, the Joint Consultative Commission, led by the Ministers of Foreign Affairs, coordinates and oversees implementation of initiatives taken between the two countries, as well as explores newer avenues for cooperation so that both countries can grow together. Our two prime ministers, Shri Narendra Modi and Sheikh Hasina, share a common vision and pro-business policies which have enhanced governance in our two countries, and we both share an ambition of improving the prosperity of our people and showing the world our mutual trust for each other as reliable partners for trade and investment. I am also delighted that we share a very strong relationship in the railway sector, which is our bridge to greater engagement in the infrastructure development. In our last interaction, when we handed over certain locomotives, I had mentioned that railways will become the engine of progress for the partnership between Bangladesh and India. Going forward, I do believe that in the post-pandemic world, as India also expands its international engagement, coupled with our efforts to make India more self-reliant by infusion of modernization, digitization, and investments in infrastructure, agri-infrastructure, agri-processing, we believe we will be able to increase the incomes of our farmers, make them more self-reliant, and help them prosper in the post-COVID world. We have used a very holistic approach to enhance their productivity, their efficiency, and bring back the attractiveness to agriculture. Transportation, irrigation, institutional credit, marketing facilities, supply of quality inputs like seeds, neem-coated fertilizers, and machinery, and development of associated cottage industries are but a few of the steps taken by India to support our infrastructure. We have recently announced a 1 lakh crore agri infrastructure fund for farm gate infrastructure development and creating more aggregation points. I have no doubt in my mind that the MOU signed between India and Bangladesh for research, development, production, and disease prevention in agriculture, livestock, poultry, and fisheries, agricultural extension, agricultural cooperatives, etc., will enhance the agricultural sector on both sides. We appreciate the intention of the government of Bangladesh to search for ways to increase and improve the prosperity of their farmers, and I can assure you our complete cooperation in this regard. Together, we can aspire for a better future, a brighter future for people of both countries, particularly for the farmers of both countries to benefit from economic prosperity. Let us expand this close relationship, this neighborly relationship, and take it to the next level so that we can move up the global and regional value chain further and integrate our economies to work international markets together for the benefit of both countries. I have no doubt that engagements such as the one today will help us to unleash the infinite potential between our two countries and help us integrate to provide better and better dialogue between our businesses. We both share a common vision and goal, and I have no doubt that together we will succeed. Together we will ensure the success of our people. The session today, ladies and gentlemen, is aimed to set the tone for developing this synergy between the two countries and identifying the key enablers in the agricultural sector between India and Bangladesh. I wish this summit great success. I am sure we will come up with outcomes which will help through this digital conference the agricultural sector in both countries. My warm greetings to my counterparts, colleague ministers. I pray for your good health, your safety, the good health and safety of all the people of Bangladesh, all the people of India. May God bless both the countries. Thank you. Namaskar.